Good evening and thanks for joining us. You are watching the 9 at Night. I'm Steve Spreester. Developing tonight, new images just released by police show what led up to today's deadly shooting at a Nashville private school. These are photos from Metro Nashville PD showing the doors that investigators say the suspect shot out to enter the school in the first place, and the damage left after they say that suspect shot at police who are arriving on the scene. Police shot and killed the 20-year-old suspect who they believe was a former student. 6 victims have also been identified. That includes 3 students and 3 staff members, including the head of the school. News of another school shooting only reopening wounds in Uvalde less than a year after the Robb Elementary shooting. One victim's sister says she is in disbelief that it's happened again.
It's just crazy how fresh that is. Not even a couple of hours ago that happened. That before this we were literally reading 4, 5 shooter dead, things like that. I don't know, it's just.
She puts her hands up. Metro Nashville police say the shooter was carrying 2 assault-style rifles and a handgun. Investigators say no one who was shot survived. Details on a possible motive had not been released yet. Neighbors worried after a 5th reported shooting at one home since early February. Officers were called to a home on West Gerald Avenue about 7:30 this morning. That's on the south side. Evidence markers in the street showed more than half a dozen bullets were fired. No injuries or damage have been reported. Police say they have conflicting information about the shooter's getaway car. Have you seen this woman? Bexar County deputies say 50-year-old Cindy Stevens disappeared on January 18th. She was last seen on Rainbow Basin Street, that's in Converse on the northeast side. She's about 5'5", has blue eyes and brown hair. We're told she has a medical condition. If you know where she might be, you're asked to call the Bexar County Sheriff's Office at 210-335-6000. Just days apart, 2 separate cases involving a total of 29 migrants found trapped inside train cars. At least 3 people died on the trains near Canipa and Eagle Pass. Our Jonathan Cotto speaks with one lawmaker who says these cases are part of an ongoing trend.
This has been happening for 2 years. Honestly, this isn't a new issue for any of us that live along Highway 90.
On Friday, 2 migrants found dead after a total of 17 people were discovered inside a train car east of Canipa. One day later, in Eagle Pass, another group of migrants also found inside a rail car. This case resulting in 1 death.
Whether it's Hondo, whether it's Canipa, whether it's Tejenes, Uvalde, Eagle Pass, literally every single week somebody is dying.
He says this operation all starts in Eagle Pass, where migrants jump on board the train after crossing into the U.S. illegally, avoiding train inspections that are conducted at the U.S.-Mexico border.
I visited a ranch in Eagle Pass maybe about 8 months ago, and literally the train comes over from Mexico. It stops at the train station in the United States, and 1 mile from that is where all the migrants jump on board.
Gonzalez says migrants tend to then jump off in areas like Uvalde, Hondo, and Canipa.
Last year in Uvalde, there was a 2-year-old girl that jumped off the train and she lost her arm. Her mother also jumped off the train and she lost her foot.
And with warmer temperatures, Gonzalez says the death toll will only increase.
These cartel members treat these migrants as if they're not even people.
And says these types of cases, though tragic, take a great toll on border communities and its resources.
Imagine pulling bodies out of the train every single week. Imagine that you're having to deal with this stress if you're a firefighter or an EMS or a sheriff or a police officer. This is what the stress is being put on the first responders, and it's dangerous. It's the 2nd and 3rd order effects of this border crisis that is hurting really our district. It's hurting America in general, but it's hurting those rural areas the most.
Jonathan Cotto, KSAT 12 News.
We now know the name of the man shot and killed last week by U.S. Marshals, the Bexar County Medical Examiner's Office, identifying him as Michael Anthony Oles. The 46-year-old was shot Friday on the 3rd floor of a hotel parking garage near downtown. The Texas Department of Public Safety says Oles was wanted by New Braunfels police for aggravated assault with a deadly weapon. DPS is handling this investigation. Take a good look at these photos. Do you recognize the car that you're about to see coming up? There it is. It's the one on the left. It's a BMW X6. Windcrest police say the driver was carjacked at gunpoint last Tuesday in the 1300 block of Murray Drive. The man they're looking for has a spade tattoo under his right eye. They're also looking for a black SUV that may be involved in all this. If you have information, call the police department at 210-655-2666. Rain chances moving back in for the work week. Let's get a quick check of your forecast with meteorologist Adam Caskey.
Isolated showers and thunderstorms tonight through the entire day tomorrow. I wish I could say everybody's going to get hit, but of course that's not the case. Very isolated in nature, just popping up here and there periodically through the night and the day tomorrow. And the off chance of 1 or 2 severe storms. 60 degrees in the morning, 70 the high, so on a downward trend with temperatures, and very gusty. We're talking winds out of the north at times, 40 miles per hour. So prepare for the gusty winds tonight and through the daylight hours tomorrow. Wednesday, high of only 65 and cloudy, and actually a fairly cloudy work week here with daily rain chances. Unfortunately, they're just on the low end at about 20%.
Well, buckle up. The price of car insurance in overdrive. Some folks are getting bills hundreds of dollars higher than normal, and it doesn't necessarily matter if you've been accident-free for years. 12 News Side's Marilyn Moritz has some ways to save.
Louis Morgan was in for sticker shock.
That's just ridiculous. I don't know how people are surviving these days.
He was already paying $317 a month to insure a Tesla for himself and a Honda for his 23-year-old son. Then
That same company went up it was over $600 a month.
The auto insurers are getting hit by the inflationary pressures that the rest of the economy are seeing, perhaps more so.
Michael Berry with the Insurance Information Institute says for every dollar many insurers took in, they paid out more than $1 in claims. Citing pricey repairs, more accidents, and an increase in theft, insurance companies' rates are up about 14% from last year. Morgan shopped around and ended up bundling his car and homeowner's insurance, now paying about $400 a month.
I'm going to get like 15% back or something.
Bundling is one way you may reduce your bill. Barry also suggests reducing your coverage if your car is older and raising your deductible.
A lot of people are driving around with a $500 deductible, but they're not going to file a claim unless it's $1,000 or more in damage.
But Barry recommends keeping comprehensive coverage.
That covers so many things that occur: vandalism, theft, flooded vehicle, trees falling on cars.
Next, see if your insurer offers tracking devices or apps that can help lower your bill. And be sure to ask about all available discounts, such as low mileage. There are also discounts for certain professions and even for students with good grades. Marilyn Moritz, KSAT 12 News.
Are you tired of tipping? Well, if you said yes, you're not alone. Backlash over tipping at quick service restaurants seems to be growing on social media. Restaurant management software company Toast reports tipping up 11% from 2020, but the tipping percentage at quick service places actually down. One expert says the trend started with the boom of digital kiosks.
That's when these businesses realized they can put in a tipping option and earn a lot of money. If you're adding 10%, 20%, that's a huge jump in revenue for a lot of these businesses. And the digital interface facilitated that.
Business experts worry this trend could affect the restaurant industry, especially full-service restaurants, where servers don't always make minimum wage. Hey, coming up tonight on the Night Beat at 10, lack of communication, a toxic work environment. That's how some former employees described the Bexar County District Attorney's Office. The concerns raised in the DA's office on its struggle to retain employees when KSAT investigates. Plus, big changes for Medicaid just days away. The reason some patients could lose their benefits this week. It's tonight on the Night Beat. We're out of time. Thanks for joining us for the 9 at Night. Have a great one. We'll see you at 10.